Hi everyone, welcome to the Rossum Q4 product launch of 2021. Thank you for joining us today from wherever you are. Throughout today's event, you will see common threads that will all connect to a central theme, and today that's automation unleashed. You will see Rossum's major product updates in action and learn more about the challenges that stand in the way of businesses, just like yours, reaching 100% automation. Later on, join our live panel of experts to hear their insights and best practices on handling business process automation. Just one more thing before we start, the recording of today's event will be available later on in case you would like to revisit. Now, to deliver a keynote, we're joined by our first speaker and Rossum's very own automation expert. Let's welcome Petr Baudiš, Rossum CTO and Chief AI Architect.
Hello everyone, I am Peter, co-founder and CTO of Rossum, and this is our fourth product launch in a row actually. Every 3 months we are sticking to the schedule and share news that are exciting. I think not just for Rossum users, but for the document processing and business communication space as a whole. I am very happy to see you all here. We have many hundreds of people joining the launch this time, so welcome to you all. And now let's spend the next 10 minutes talking about the future of real-world document automation. In our product launches, we talk about how we help our customers automate their business transactions and document communication so that they can save themselves the effort associated with processing these transactions and this communication manually. And we automate processing of business transaction in all stages, obviously. Receiving the documents, understanding them, the two-way communication associated with them, and exception handling, all the way to sending the data to IT systems downstream. But this time, let's come back to the most obvious challenge in this process. Business transactions, they are often hidden in documents, and we need to capture data from these documents, even though every one of them looks different. This is Rossum's most core capability. So let's talk about automating document data capture. At Rossum, we talk to hundreds of companies that want to automate their document processing. And what we have heard is obviously that they all want to maximize their automation rates, and they want to do that fast and without any hassle. But they want to stay in control, to have peace of mind, but also the ability to tweak and optimize for their unique circumstances. But why do they want this all? It always, in those conversations, comes back to one ultimate value, and that's time. This, of course, means saving time spent on processing the documents, but also saving the time spent on configuring and maintaining the system, and the days and weeks wasted in the business by waiting on the document to go through all phases of the processing, from receiving it to having it in your IT database and being able to act on it. From this perspective, the top challenges of automation are having automation that's easy and low effort to set up, having automation where you have still full control over its behavior, and having automation that has the fast ramp-up time from the point you roll out the solution to the point where it really starts automating a large chunk of your document traffic. The traditional answer to these challenges is to promise total automation delivered as a full service by a traditional data capture vendor. I would say 4 out of 5 data capture vendors position their marketing like this: 100% automation, we are going to set it up all for you. And this sounds very appealing, but the issue is what's left unsaid. So when we talk about 100% automation, the picture is really very complicated. So let's bust that myth of 100% automation, because even if you have 2 people talking directly to each other, they might not always understand each other and be able to resolve misunderstandings, because they might be talking about something unusual or in an unusual way, or just be solving a specific situation, specific exception. So we believe 100% automation is impossible in the real world. A world which is changing, complex world which is filled with exceptions. And we should just work with this fact. When we talk about this traditional answer and those customers who went for it, for this 100% automation mission, we talked to them. They were stuck undergoing literally multi-year efforts with little intermediate value. And they were stuck with no long-term plan for the future in a business environment which keeps changing, which is ever changing, and that will never be without its quirks and exceptions. And those customers, they were locked in with professional services of legacy vendors and with long turnaround times for any automation changes. For us, that means that any high automation solution must be agile and highly adaptable to avoid those pitfalls. And this is precisely why AI matters and why having a cognitive data capture solution matters. So let's think about it from that perspective. Is it possible to have automation that is adaptable and still easy and low effort to set up? An automation that offers full control over its behavior and automation that offers fast ramp-up times in the real world. Today, we are changing the way companies tackle these automation challenges and automate their real-world business data capture. We are revealing easier and more accessible automation setup than ever, since we are launching a new automation intelligence dashboard, and we have entirely revamped our fields configuration interface to make the automation setup much more accessible and easy. We believe this is a game changer in data capture automation overall, because it enables an easy and low effort automation setup that's completely self-service. You do not need deep technical knowledge to set up your automation. You don't even need to necessarily rely on Rossum's professional services. Even though our global services team is standing by, shall you still need some assistance? And the second reason we believe this is a game changer in this space is because it's an adaptable automation that keeps users in full control, even when each document is not validated manually. Because it offers fine control of the automation conditions, and it offers you data reports in real time with actionable insights that are live. There is one more thing I want to talk about. Because when you ask, how does Rossum automate new use cases for customers like you as quickly as possible with this short ramp-up time, it's about our data capture AI, an AI which is able to adapt to your documents automatically. And today, we are revealing multiple AI breakthroughs in this area. Our instant learning capability is now available outside of beta, enters general availability, and we are making line item automation as powerful as regular fields in terms of learning of tables and level of controls of table automation. Instant learning means that after correcting a particular mistake, the AI can improve its capture and automation for the very next document already. Stick around for the demo to experience this live. This mechanism alone reduces error rate typically by a third, but more often by more than 50%. Very often. And table automation, has long been a challenge in the data capture industry as a whole. It's an immensely challenging topic. The algorithms to handle this are very complicated, mainly because the real-world cases of tables are very often super complicated. But we are bringing game-changing improvements to our AI engine that finally make line items automation a first-class citizen. And obviously that applies both even for complex tables with nested items. These two breakthroughs combined, instant learning and first-class line item table automation, combined, they mean that over the past 9 months, we doubled automation rates for our existing customers. Let's look at a couple of customer stories. First, we can effectively help even smaller organizations without huge automation budgets. Sapeli is a door manufacturing company. They are manufacturing over 100,000 doors a year. The breakthroughs I just talked about enabled us to deliver higher accuracy than ever before with data capture errors close to zero. The instant learning leads to a much better user experience for operators in Rossum's application because Rossum is remembering all the corrections of users. And Morton Salt is North America's leading salt producer, both for food and chemical purposes. And we enabled them to change the way how they process their sales orders automatically. But ultimately, these improvements lead to higher rate of automation. That's what all this is about. And because it's adaptable, it just keeps growing merely thanks to users using Rossum daily. This applies even in large enterprise settings. Kingfisher is an international home improvement company with over 1,400 stores and a team of 80,000. They experience this quick learning and constant growth, and it's a critical component for the SAP-based document workflow. So we have talked about how we are now pushing the limits of what's possible with adaptable automation. Automation that's easier than ever, that has fastest ramp-up time on the market, we believe, and that offers you the highest level of control. And you will see all these breakthroughs in action in just a couple of minutes in a demo. But I just want to mention that obviously this is not all we have worked about. This is not all that we worked on. In the last 3 months, we have released more than 130 other improvements. Just to mention a couple, in the communication area, Rossum is now capable of seamlessly processing even Word and Excel documents, and we introduced more email automation features to follow up on our last product launch. We are also making strides in our enterprise offering with Azure option for enterprises that prefer that because of their compliance needs. We should close with a brief look into the future. And when we talk about what's next, we need to frame it within a single critical fact. And that's that this fall we have raised likely the largest Series A funding round ever in the field of document processing and business communication. We have raised $100 million in venture capital funding, and it is going to affirm our leading position in the automation business communication market. We are investing much of the 100 million in product engineering and AI research to fulfill our vision in 3 chief directions. First, we have many more exciting automation-related capabilities brewing. We are working towards establishing a dedicated industrial AI research lab focused on document automation. And we are working on automation in other aspects of business communications besides data capture, obviously. Second, when we talk about adaptability, this also allows Rossum to serve as a single universal gateway for a wide spectrum of document types. That's what adaptability is all about. And in the next product launch, we will be revealing new product capabilities that unlock this potential for an even wider audience. And ultimately, we are building a full-stack platform for automating business communication end-to-end. The centerpiece of this vision is the Rossum store we unveiled on our last product launch. And we are now going to reveal a first cohort of new Rossum extensions that add even more extra communication features to the platform. But to come back to the present, you can experience adaptive automation that's easier than ever with the highest level of control and the fastest ramp-up time on the market. You can sign up for our trial if you haven't yet right now, or contact our team to learn more about Rossum's capabilities. But right now, stay with us because we want to show you all the capabilities we just talked about. So now it's time for a demo.
Thanks, Peter. That was great. And now to walk us through Rossum's newest automation updates in action, let's welcome Rossum's AI product manager, Katarina.
Hi everyone, I am Katarina and I'm a product manager in Rossum. Today I will show you how you can set up your automation fast and how to achieve high automation rates with our new capabilities. In the first part of our demo, I will focus on the automation setup. I will use our demo company Dairy Products Ltd. If this isn't your first quarterly webinar, you are no doubt familiar with them. This company has been using Rossum for a while now, and they are satisfied with the accuracy of the data extraction. But what they never really tried is touchless automation. Their challenge now is to set up this automation easily while remaining confident that they control the parameters that drive the AI's automation. The easiest way how to do it is using our new automation tab. Right now, the only thing which I will need to set up is the level of the automation. Currently, the company uses the never setting for the automation. This means that every document needs to be reviewed by a human, which could be useful or mandatory in some cases. The other option is the always automation. With this, you automate every single document, but with a higher possibility of the AI making errors. But the level which we recommend to most of our customers is the confident automation. With this, only documents that pass some accuracy thresholds are automated by the AI. The other documents are stopped for review. From the technical standpoint, Rossum's AI provides confidence scores for each field. The indicated confidence scores tend to mirror the accuracy you can expect for this field. Fields which have a higher confidence than the predefined confidence thresholds are automated by the AI. You can modify this threshold based on your needs. If you want to be more conservative, select a higher threshold. Fewer documents will be automated, but the accuracy of the extracted values will be higher. If you want to achieve higher automation rates and you don't require human-level accuracy, you can lower the threshold. I want to be safe right now, so the 97.5 confidence seems to be right for me. Let's save my changes and let's look if these changes allow us to automate some documents. So now I will be importing 2 documents and let's see what happens. I would also like to highlight that I am uploading an Excel document and a Word document which Rossum now natively supports. As you can see, it took me only 10 seconds to set the automation, and already one of the 2 documents has been automated since it exceeds my configured thresholds. So let's look at it. As you can see, it was automated. We can also check if the extracted values were correct. And if I go through field by field, you can see that each of the value was extracted correctly. So now what I would like to see why my other document wasn't automated. Our new capability shows you all the automation blockers. The most common blockers for this document are the low confidences. We can also see that overall most of the fields are correct, but there are some small issues. So the AI actually did a right job to not automating this document. Another way how to gain insight into your automation is using your automation tab. In this section, automation data, we provide the most important statistics, which makes the process transparent and allows you to have full control over your automation. In this table, you can see the automation rate, the score thresholds, and the confidence mean for each of the fields. And this allows you to understand the automation on the field level. What I am learning from this data is which field restricts my document automation the most. Mostly it's the issue date and due date, sometimes the currency. I also know that this queue contains only low dollar value invoices, so I don't require human level accuracy for this queue. Therefore, I can lower the confidence threshold for this queue in order to get higher touchless automation. So let's do that. I selected 80% and let's save my changes. So let's upload some new documents again, and we will see if my changes in the settings helped me. As you can see, all of the newly uploaded documents were processed automatically. It took a very little time and reconfiguration to start automating documents. In the second part of our demo, I want to focus on what we call instant learning. A common problem faced by our customers is that multiple documents from the same vendor are received back-to-back, and waiting for the AI to generalize and automate these layouts takes time. I will show you how you can easily process every document from the same vendor after showing the AI how to handle just one. So, let's look into this queue. As you can see, we have the same layout, several invoices with the same layout here, so only the values change. Let's correct the first document and see what happens. Thanks to Rossum's UI, this will take only seconds. So, as you can see, most of the values are correct. I am working with the same vendor as I worked in one of the previous documents, so you can see how we can correct actually that document and make the AI learn how to extract the values automatically fast. So now I confirm this document, and we will just wait a second and we will see instant learning in action. What we just saw is what we call instant learning. It was enough to confirm only one document, and all of the others in the same layout were automated. This is a game changer, as it reduces your time to value drastically. Your team can now automate their backlog with rapid AI assistance, reducing days of work to only minutes. So we saw instant learning work on header fields, but does it work also on tables, or even better, complex tables? The answer is yes, and let's test it out. So my situation is very similar. I have some invoices from the same vendor with the same layout, but with different values. The only different thing is that this invoice contains also complex tables. First, let me deal with the header fields, and then we will tackle the table. This table is a complex table because it contains a column with nested values. Annotating it with traditional approaches would be very time-consuming, but we can use what we call our magic items extension. Magic items helps you turn around complex tables really fast. But first, let me deal with the easy columns. I am using our magic grid right now. And now we can deal with our nested values. The only thing which I will have to do now is annotate the first row and click on the extract complex line items. As you can see, most of the fields were extracted correctly. The only one which I have to correct is this one, and I can apply the values. So now let's confirm the document again, and let's wait a little bit to see what happens. As you can see, once again, all of the other documents from the same vendor were processed automatically, and the only thing we did was to process a single document. So to wrap up our demo, I showed you how to fine-tune your automation. We used the intuitive automation blockers and automation data table to understand the automatic data processing and to customize the automation according to your needs. We saw instant learning in action on documents without tables, as well as on documents with complex tables. All of these new capabilities allow you to achieve high automation rates without compromising on the accuracy of the data extraction.
Welcome back. Thank you everybody for sticking around for a live discussion with our automation experts. Thank you so much, Petra and Katarina, for delivering such amazing presentations. And we are joined as well by a very special external guest today, and that's Andrzej Beranek, the Executive Director of the Developer Group. Thank you so much, Andrzej, for being here.
Hello.
Yeah, before we jump into the conversation, we'll start with some general questions. I just wanted to once again remind our audience to jump in on the conversation by using a live chat or the Q&A section down in the bar below. And yeah, let's jump right in. So I wanted to start with you, Andrzej. The question is, in preparation to this event alone, I think I've received like 5 workshop invitations for different automation solutions. So when you go about distilling what's going on in the market and what's truly helpful for you and your team, where do you start?
So for hello everybody. So for our team, actually, the document automation helped us to rebuild completely the process from something that was completely paper to something that is now completely digital. We are just tackling like 18% of paper invoices and still working down to make it as digital as possible. So that was the first thing that actually, when we start working with Rossum, that helped us a lot. But it was a painful process, to be honest. It took a while to persuade the people, especially in our sector, utility, where the resistance is quite high for any new stuff, any IT, digital tools, etc. So yeah, just to make it short, it really helped us a lot, to be honest. And I think we might tackle it also throughout the return on investment and other financial and process questions, I kind of assume.
Yeah, that's very helpful. I know that we've been talking about automation, and this whole thing is about automation. We've been hearing a lot about the hyper automation as well. So I'm wondering, maybe it's a question for Peter. Hyper automation, what do you think about it? Is it worth all the buzz? Is it something that we want to get in? Does Rossum want to get a product launch on hyper automation next time round? What do you think?
Right. So hyper automation, I think, it's a favorite analyst term which describes essentially having a single vendor providing full stack automation tasks for process automation. So for example, the top RPA vendors would be hyper automation vendors in Gartner parlance, for example, because or approaching that because they provide all the toolkits and you don't need to mix and match multiple vendors to put together a hybrid solution, so to say. And I think this trend, it makes absolute sense. It's not a solution in every situation, but it's a good thing to take as a default approach. And this is definitely something, a direction where we are progressing as Rossum as well. We don't use the hyper automation term ourselves. It feels a little buzzwordy to me, but I understand the point of giving it some name. But Rossum is all about business communication. So for us, hyper automation means having a full stack solution for companies exchanging documents to execute business transactions. That means the mantra, receiving, understanding, two-way communication handling, and acting on the documents and putting them downstream. And I think it's the theme behind all we are doing in the past year. So essentially, pretty much every launch so far has been actually about hyper automation. For example, the Rossum store is pretty integral so that you don't need to mix those vendors yourself, but you have an access to a wide set of solutions.
Yep. Thank you so much. Andre, do you have something to add?
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to add something to what Peter said, is the fact that at the beginning, since I said we are from utility market, we also combined various tools to deal with the invoices, but now we use the direct integration to our ERP, which of course make the system super fast. So previously we had one invoice in 2 minutes that was processed throughout the various tools because we are in G Suite world, but now it's 10 invoices within the second. So you literally made the speed something unbelievable for ourselves, that when we receive an invoice, it can be actually within few seconds, it's in our ERP. Mm-hmm. And that is a complete game changer. And I was even shocked today throughout the product launch by the certain features that you showed us. And I'm texting here my people that we definitely need to look into some of those, that we can make the internal product that we have around Rossum even better.
And yeah, I think that's exactly what we want to hear.
No, but I'm super enthusiastic about the fact that when I saw the tables that you read, the line items, etc., because we have, especially in our language, the Czechoslovak language, and we receive French invoices whatsoever. So we have 270,000 invoices, and if I have 3 people tackling or admin people around this system, and now I think it will be I can downgrade it to 2, maybe 1. I don't know. I have to definitely see it after this workshop.
Maybe to also, we are already getting tens of questions in our Q&A, so we'll probably have to just choose carefully. But one I noticed from Ishani Sharma is plans for direct integration with accounting software like NetSuite and so on. And it's also definitely part of this hyper automation theme, right? And that's in the Rossum store. Actually, you can already find NetSuite out of the box automation that you can enable right away. Or obviously you can ask our professional services department for help. But this is definitely a trend which Rossum is also following, because it's all about this easy implementation as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm also seeing a lot of questions about the instant learning in the chat. So I guess, Katka, that would be for you. So we have one from David Klima. Thank you. It's about the instant learning. Is this a new feature that replaces the needs of retraining, which we are using now?
No, it is not a replacement, but or not a full replacement. It can help you until you have your own engine, and it also can work for the documents with the same vendor. But of course, the engines which we now provide are much more sophisticated, and they learn much more than instant learning.
So we call this some a two-cycle learning essentially. When you roll out Rossum with a dedicated AI engine, you also have this instant learning capability, and the dedicated engine training has its own strengths, and instant learning has its own strength. The instant learning reacts very fast, but it doesn't generalize that much to different looking documents. And the dedicated AI engine, it takes a little longer to learn, but it's still instrumental for the long-term accuracy, especially if the set of document types you are getting keeps changing and keeps evolving. So both of those components definitely have their place, and if you become a Rossum customer, you get the full package.
Yeah, there's a question from Ted Thomas in the chat about the technology partnerships. So for the customers that want to integrate OCR for invoices. So we do have multiple partnership options. So please reach out after the session. We will share the details again, and our representative or our team would for sure help you with that. Or did you want to comment maybe on partnerships, on Jay?
Yeah, we also used first of all, we also used a partner that actually brought us Rossum at the beginning. It's when you see that there is it's either or. You can, in my opinion, it's now we are talking directly with the direct integration to our ERP, which is Asseco solution based ERP. So it all depends if you want to rebuild the process or not, in my opinion.
Right.
If you want to rebuild the process, then I say yes. You need somebody that really is a process expert. But if you really know what you want, then I think you can definitely go directly with the direct implementation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if Ted Thomas is asking from ISV perspective, from a software vendor perspective, obviously at Rossum we do have a partnership program. We welcome both reselling partners, referral partners. We also look for partners for our Rossum store. So that if you get in touch with us, we will definitely take care of you, and we have a lot of resources set up in place to support partners like you.
That Thomas thinks that you're the best, Petra. So thank you very much for all your answers. I see the question if Rossum is a cloud-based solution. It definitely is. It's cloud-based. A question for Andrzej. What do you think the ROI of business transaction automation is?
Since I'm ex-consultant, I can tell you it should be down 1 year. At our case, we roughly touch 3 months of fully automating the invoices. So the return on investment was something incredible, because the investment costs at the beginning are just easy to manage and to control, and the amount of human resources that we were able. I don't want to say that we just replace them by the machine, but we just use them for different positions. Because to find a good accountant, it's really difficult, and if you can save the time of the accountant by just taking off these repetitive tasks like data entry, you can do it by machine. So we really touched like 3.2 months of return on investment of this project.
Yeah, that makes sense. Another question would be probably for Katka. Will instant learning also affect or improve generic engine accuracy?
Yes, instant learning works and will work on generic engine as well. Also, the demo was shown on the generic engine as well. So, yes.
The other question is, I guess, writing on that previous one, when will this be released? When people can try that?
So the instant learning was slowly released, parts of it, and the even better instant learning will be available in a few days.
Mm-hmm.
But regarding all of the features which I just shown, some of them will be released today or the next few days. So you will see them soon.
Yeah. And again, my reminder is to feel free to reach out. We will let you know for sure, and we will consult you as well. Our team will let you know for sure what works, and give you more details as a follow-up for the session. Let's take maybe another question here. Will there be some more insight for dedicated model training? When was the last training? Which queue was considered? Some accuracy scores, even better self-controlled, what to train. Right now, it's a lot of communication when you have a lot of queues. And the question from Hannes.
Yes, we are working on this part a lot right now. So we are hoping that in the following months, we will give you more of these informations and more of the capabilities. So I will be very happy to be in touch with you and to show you what we are working on and discuss it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds good. I see a lot of questions about pricing and also about specific use cases on instant learning or specific document types. Again, please feel free to reach out. We will let you know, of course, for sure. We are at the bottom of the hour right now. So let's wrap it up. Are there any final comments from our experts? Something you've seen in the chat?
I think, let me maybe come back to one very early question from Nikuleski about e-invoicing. And overall, what I think is a pretty exciting automation trend for the future. In terms of business communication, obviously, when I talk about exciting trends, I could talk about the AI, the new AI capabilities that because we have so much in store to be released in the next couple of months. I'm really looking forward to that. But for the longer term, I think the exciting thing here is about blurring the lines between EDI and digital information, machine readable information, and PDFs and scans and documents like this, because at Rossum, that's why we went for why our mission became to automate business communication rather than just being an intelligent document processing vendor, because we believe that long term the right solution is exchanging machine readable information. Obviously, it's a trend which seems now in some countries to be quite prevalent. Then again, it's a 50-year-old technology pretty much, and still the adoption is pretty low. And the big challenge there is actually very similar to the challenge that we have with PDFs, because every new vendor which would send you EDI documents, you need to actually onboard, and you need to have solution architects and dedicated IT staff to keep onboarding those vendors. Just as with traditional template solutions, for example, you would have dedicated people setting up the templates. There isn't really actually big change. The big change is only after you onboard this vendor in how well you can automate. So right now we are very heavily at Rossum looking into automating this onboarding process so that we bring the same change to EDI as we have in as the change we brought to processing PDFs and those kinds of documents. We already have some design partners which we are onboarding to V1 of our solution. We are obviously looking for more interested customers who would like to blur this line with us and for whom this kind of mission makes sense and that have this trouble. And Andrzej is raising his hand.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment one thing, is that actually when I also had an idea at the beginning when starting the project at Veolia that something like EDIs, iDocs or whatsoever can be of a really nice help for having the automation throughput of invoices higher. By the end of the day, if I found out that we have only in Czech Republic over 60,000 suppliers, which means 60,000 types of invoices. And if I ever ask these 60,000 suppliers that are officially registered within our supply chain, I would have to have 60,000 upload functions into our Helios, because each supplier has a different version of the IDOC, different information inserted. And I would need this amount of functions in order to upload the documents in. So actually, I had to re-engineer the thing that I asked these suppliers, please do not send me electronic version of the invoice, because it's easier for me to run it through Rossum and then convert it into one single input that I can upload into our ERP. And there I found the reality that, and I always, when I started to talk to you guys, I always said like, yeah, EDI IDOC might actually be the game changer as such, but from my opinion, it's not, and it won't be, because as you said, it's here for ages, and I think it will be there for ages somewhere in let's say in mid product, these EDIs and PDF electronic versions, etc.
Okay, thank you. That was very helpful. So that's a wrap for today's discussion and event. Thank you so much for all of you for being here. So it was very useful. I hope our audience also takes away some very valuable insights on automation from today. A reminder that this event is recorded, so it will be also shared with you in case you wanted to revisit later. It's available. Please feel free again to reach out to our automation experts. Our team does want to hear from you, and we are hoping to see you next time. Thank you so much.